Max, over to you. First, does unemployment at almost 11%, which is the highest since the introduction of the common currency, mean, well, one of the meanings that the 17-member Eurozone is in a recession, and that's just one of the consequences now?
Well, the employment picture is bad pretty much everywhere, and the reason is common amongst all these various countries. Money is being printed, but it doesn't flow to wages or savings and pensions. It flows to asset price inflation and to bonuses for corrupt bankers. And this has been going on for a number of years now, and there's nothing in the pipeline that's going to stop this trend. There seems to be very little recourse for anyone to push back against this phenomenon of what I would call a sterilized inflation. That is to say that inflation only for assets that are owned by the bankers, but everyone else is suffering massive deflation, wages falling apart, and no return on savings or pensions.
Talk about money being in circulation. Senior European Commission official has said that the EU loses some 600 million euros to suspected fraud every year. That's the European Commissioner, Director General for Justice, François Lebel. How is that possible for the EU to lose 600 million euros to fraud every year?
Well, that's not that hard to do, really. When you consider, for example, the U.S., when they invaded Iraq, they lost $8 billion in cash that they were trying to fly in on a military transport, somehow went missing. But the level of graft and larceny in the IMF, the World Bank, Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, to name a few, is enormous. When you pay out $140 billion in bonuses, as they do on Wall Street or at the various banks in Europe, that's just the tip of a multi-hundred billion, multi-trillion dollar money laundering scam that goes on. As your previous guest just mentioned, the central banks lend money out to these banks at 1%. They, in turn, reinvest it with the central bank at 3%. So they make 2% carry. It's a carry trade to do absolutely nothing. They're not incentivized to put that money to work in the economy. They're making free 2% on their cash or more.